There's a moment, often quiet, often unexpected, when a soft ringing fills your ears. It's not coming from the world outside, but from within. For most people, it's dismissed in seconds, categorized as tinnitus or an auditory glitch. But what if this sound is something else entirely, a spiritual frequency calling your attention? Throughout history, traditions from the East and West have spoken about inner sounds as messages from a higher realm or the unconscious mind. The ancient yogis called it the soundless sound, Nada Brahma, the voice of creation itself. In Jungian psychology, such experiences might symbolize contact with the deeper psyche, where intuition and transformation begin. Imagine for a moment that your consciousness is like a radio receiver. Most of the time, you're tuned into the loud, fast-moving frequencies of the external world. Notifications, conversations, worries, plans. But sometimes the dial shifts slightly and you pick up another signal. Subtle, high-pitched, luminous. That sound could be the vibration of your inner world adjusting, your soul trying to communicate something your rational mind can't yet grasp. Ear ringing often appears in moments of transition, during emotional turbulence, meditation, or deep fatigue. Psychologically, it may represent the psyche's attempt to rebalance itself, signaling that something is shifting beneath the surface. Spiritually, it might mean your energy centers are awakening, your intuition heightening, or your frequency rising to a new state of awareness. When this happens, most people feel confusion, even fear. Why is this happening to me? But what if you paused, just for a breath, and asked a different question? What is this sound trying to teach me? The ringing can be seen as a mirror of your inner energy. When your emotional world is out of tune, when there's stress, anger, or unresolved pain, the vibration of your energy field changes. The body, mind, and soul are one integrated system. A discord in one part echoes through the others. That faint ringing might be your energetic feedback system, letting you know it's time to listen more deeply. Carl Jung often said that, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. The ringing could be one of those unconscious signals, not fate but an invitation, to slow down, to listen, to realign with what your deeper self is trying to express. If you think of your soul as a vast ocean, then ear ringing is like a ripple on the surface, reminding you of unseen movements beneath. It's not a random noise. It's the ocean whispering, "Pay attention." At this point, if the message resonates with you, pause and take a deep breath. Reflect on moments when the ringing appeared in your life. Was it after an intense emotion? During silence? Just before an important decision? These are not coincidences. They are synchronicities, signs that the inner and outer worlds are in conversation. If this video is helping you see things differently, consider giving it a like. It helps the message reach more people who may be going through similar experiences. Subscribe to stay connected to this journey of inner exploration and transformation. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into the psychological and energetic meanings behind this phenomenon. You'll discover how to decode its timing, tone, and intensity, and how it can serve as a tool for emotional healing and spiritual growth. When the ringing in your ears becomes more than a passing moment, when it starts to feel like a pattern, it is time to bring it into your spiritual practice. The goal isn't to eliminate it, but to decode it, because behind every vibration there's a message, behind every sound, an energy-seeking expression. Let's begin with awareness. The next time the ringing appears, don't rush to label or resist it. Simply pause and breathe. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What energy is present? Awareness turns noise into meaning. The more you observe without judgment, the clearer the message becomes. This is the first principle, listening as presence. In Jungian terms, it's the act of integrating the unconscious, bringing light to what was hidden. The moment you choose to listen inwardly, you shift from reaction to consciousness. You move from victim of the symptom to student of the soul. Now let's move to the second principle, energetic alignment. Just as a musical instrument requires tuning, your energy system, your chakras, emotions, thoughts, needs recalibration. Ear ringing may correspond to the crown or third eye centers, which govern intuition, perception, and connection with higher awareness. A simple way to realign is through vibrational grounding. Sit in silence, spine straight, and visualize a stream of light flowing from the top of your head down to your heart and then into the earth. With each exhale, imagine the ringing softening, integrating, harmonizing. You're not pushing it away. You're allowing it to find its place within your frequency. Over time, this practice builds resilience. You'll notice that the ringing loses its charge. It becomes less intrusive, more like a background hum of consciousness, a reminder of your connection to something greater. Let's explore the third principle, symbolic interpretation. Each experience of ringing may carry a unique message. High-pitched tones often indicate heightened intuition or spiritual downloads, moments when you're receiving subtle insight. Low, dense tones might point to grounding issues, emotional heaviness, or resistance within the lower energy centers. Sudden spikes or fluctuations can occur when external energies, people, environments, or even collective emotions interact with your field. Treat these not as rigid categories, but as metaphors. The psyche communicates symbolically, not literally. Allow intuition to interpret what each sound represents for you personally. The fourth principle, emotional release. The unconscious speaks through the body. Sometimes the ringing intensifies because emotions are rising to be released. Grief, anger, fear, or even excitement. Instead of fighting the sensation, give those feelings a voice. Journal, move, cry, breathe. By allowing expression, you free trapped energy, and the ringing often diminishes naturally. Imagine the psyche as an ancient temple, echoing with forgotten prayers. The ringing is the resonance of those prayers seeking to be heard again. When you listen, you honor them. Now let's talk about synchronicity, the meaningful coincidences Jung described. Perhaps you notice that the ringing occurs just as you're thinking of someone, making a decision, or entering a new phase in life. These aren't accidents. They re-intersections between inner and outer realities, signs that your soul and the universe are in dialogue. The more aware you become, the more these synchronicities multiply. It's as if the universe is whispering, "You're on the right path. Keep going." At its deepest level, the ringing is an invitation to trust your inner guidance. It reminds you that not all truth arrives through logic or sight. Some truths arrive as vibration, as sound, as energy. Listening becomes a sacred act, a communion with your own essence. Let's bring this into practical terms. Daily check-in. Spend 2 minutes each day in silence. Notice if there's any ringing. Instead of resisting, welcome it. Let it become a bell of mindfulness. Energetic hygiene. Just as you shower daily, cleanse your energy through breath, nature, salt baths, or sound healing. This keeps your field balanced and less reactive. Journaling patterns. Note the moments the ringing appears and any insights that follow. Over time, you'll see connections between emotional states, dreams, or decisions. Creative expression. Transform the sound into art, music, writing, or meditation. The energy that once disturbed you can become a source of creation. Seek silence intentionally. Paradoxically, silence amplifies inner sound, but it also brings peace. Spend time each week disconnected from digital noise, letting your nervous system reset. Through these steps, what once felt like a strange intrusion becomes a teacher, a reminder of your capacity to listen, integrate, and evolve. Remember, transformation doesn't always come through grand revelations. Sometimes it comes as a quiet tone, inviting you to turn inward and awaken. As Jung would say, who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens. The ringing is the call to awaken, to hear the unspoken truths vibrating within your being. If this message has helped you see your experience in a new light, consider liking this video so others can discover it too. Share your story in the comments. When does the ringing appear for you? What has it taught you? Your reflection might be the mirror someone else needs today. And if you wish to continue exploring the mysteries of energy, archetypes, and deep spirituality, subscribe and join this journey of awakening and inner transformation. In the end, the ringing is not a curse, nor a random occurrence. It's the music of your becoming. The universe speaks in many ways. Sometimes all it asks is that you learn to listen. To understand the spiritual and psychological meaning behind the ringing in your ears, we need to look beyond the surface. Think of your life as an orchestra, your thoughts, emotions, relationships, and actions all playing their unique instruments. When the instruments are in harmony, the melody feels natural. But when one part falls out of rhythm, the discord becomes audible. That's when the ringing may appear, not as a punishment, but as a signal that something within your inner orchestra is out of tune. In deep psychology, this experience might symbolize the call of the self, the central archetype that represents totality and inner balance. The sound becomes a bridge between the conscious and unconscious, an auditory symbol of something trying to emerge into awareness. The psyche doesn't speak in words, it speaks in symbols, sensations, and synchronicities, and sometimes that message reaches you as sound. Energetically, the ears are gateways of perception, not just physical, but spiritual. They absorb vibration, frequency, and resonance. When you experience ringing, your subtle body may be adjusting to new energetic information. This can happen after meditation, spiritual practice, or emotional release. Moments when your vibration rises and the body recalibrates to match the new frequency. For example, think about times when you've had a powerful emotional breakthrough, maybe after crying deeply, forgiving someone, or finding sudden clarity about a decision. Moments later, you might hear that faint tone. That's your energy field realigning, integrating what you've just transformed. Other times, the ringing comes as a warning signal, a nudge from your unconscious saying, "You're overwhelmed. Too much noise, too much external input." In those cases, the sound reminds you to return to silence, to reconnect with stillness, to protect your energetic space. It's similar to how animals sense storms before they arrive. Your body, too, is attuned to subtle shifts in atmosphere, not only physical, but emotional and spiritual. The ringing is your inner weather forecast, alerting you to unseen pressure systems in your psyche. So how do you work with it consciously? The first step is awareness. Instead of reacting with worry, observe. Where are you? What are you thinking or feeling when it happens? Is there tension in your body or a surge of emotion? Keeping a small inner signals journal can reveal patterns, times of day, emotional triggers, or even interactions that precede the sound. Over time, you'll start to notice meaning, the same way Jung encouraged us to track dreams. These ear messages may become part of your dialogue with the unconscious. Let's say the ringing appears when you feel anxious. That's your cue to pause and ground your energy. Breathe deeply. Place your hand over your chest. Imagine roots connecting you to the earth. In contrast, if it appears during meditation or when you feel inspired, see it as a sign of alignment, confirmation that you're attuning to a higher frequency. There's a poetic truth here. The ear ringing is both an alarm and a melody. It warns and it awakens. It's your psyche's way of saying, something within you needs attention. Whether that's emotional healing or spiritual expansion depends on your personal context. The great mystics and modern psychologists converge on one idea. Everything in you seeks wholeness. The psyche uses every tool available, images, dreams, sensations, even sounds, to guide you toward that center. The ringing, then, is not random. It's a language of transformation. Imagine your unconscious as a vast cave filled with echoes. Each thought, emotion, or experience leaves a sound wave behind. Over time, some of these echoes get lost in the dark corners, unprocessed memories, suppressed feelings, forgotten dreams. Occasionally, the cave hums, and you hear the echo surface as ringing. It's not an external noise. It's a psychic resonance, the past calling for integration. Ask yourself, what have I been avoiding hearing? Whose voice within me has been silenced? Sometimes, the ringing simply means it's time to listen more deeply, not to the outside world, but to yourself. In moments like these, find stillness. Close your eyes. Instead of fighting the sound, lean into it. Let it become your teacher. You may find that the more you surrender to listening, the softer it becomes. If this exploration speaks to you, remember to support the message. Give the video a like so others searching for meaning can find it too. And if you've ever felt this resonance in your own journey, Share your experience in the comments. Many will find comfort knowing they're not alone in this. In the final part, we'll explore how to transform this experience into a daily spiritual practice, learning to interpret inner sounds, protect your energy, and use these moments as doorways to awareness, peace, and purpose.